because I think we're in a time in our lives as obviously young adults getting into sort of where our careers are. We're starting to branch away from the idea of long-term tenure at a place. I think that was something that, 30, 40, 50 years ago, being at the same job for 26, 27 to 30 years was absolutely phenomenal. You were loyal, you were a dedicated worker to your craft and whatnot. And maybe the passion's still there for most people that identify with that, but sometimes it was just means to an end. Like kind of like that's what they had to do to provide for their family. But, flash forward to 40 years to present day, you're seeing less and less people feel comfortable with that long-term tenure, right? They don't want to feel stagnant. They don't want to be in a constant position. They want to look for improvement in other places. And I'll get to this.
I just want to say this because I know I'm going to forget it. I think about this though, what you're saying, and I wonder if that's a result or a small result of how connected we are as human beings to everything. So like and even just a normal job, if I'm working a normal job in Wisconsin and I could take one in Arizona, back before the internet and everything, it would be like, oh man, I've never even been there. Like, what does it look like? And now you can, within 5 minutes, have a rundown of the city that you might be living in.
Places to eat, apartments available, like, everything around, you'd be able to look at it.
I'm guilty of that.
Like, I bring it up because we talked about LinkedIn a couple episodes ago, but like I'm looking at people's profiles and seeing like experiences, like work experiences, education experiences, and places people are having 10 plus experiences for shorter amounts of time, when obviously if you add it all together, it's 8 years of their life, right? Like, and you could see that 30, 40 years ago, 8 years of life at a single company, right? Building their name, building their brand, who they are as an employee for that company. Whereas now it's more of a building your brand for who you are as a potential worker for the next job, not a potential worker that stays at the job for their entire career and retires from there. I don't think it's a bad or good thing. It's something that it's evolved. It's a thing, right? It's evolving with who people are and what society is. And for a teacher, I think that's something. I don't want to say that there's concrete like foundation in that, but I feel like we'll always need teachers, and like that prospect of having a teacher position. I'm not a teacher, so I can't really speak to this. Maybe you guys, because you're going through the stuff, but the idea that people need to be educated, people need to have that insightful intellect. Oh, wow. That's an alliteration. Insightful intellect instilled in their minds from people. I think that'll be a pretty good tenured position, a career path that people feel comfortable being in. But like, I don't know how valid the statistic is, but people change their profession or career like 13 times or something like that in their life. I could be just spewing a number out. I don't know, but I know some people do. I know it's a lot. Like, I know my dad, he's worked at the same company for 26 years, I think now. Like, he's sort of a part of that, long-term tenure. And like my mom has switched, I think, different working types of jobs. She was a dental assistant for a while. She's like a marketing publisher right now. So like a dental assistant to marketing publisher, like where does that transition come from? We don't know. It's, that constant need for progress. And
I think it's cool too. One of the cool parts about that, and this is, what you're saying with your mom, but for me too, from experience, is like people are now more willing to give you a chance type of a thing. Like where somebody who is a dental assistant came up to somebody in marketing and said like, hey, I want to work with you. They'd been like,
what?
You lost?
Yeah. Like you lost the map. Like where you at?
Yeah. But like same thing for me though. Coaching and teaching aren't that different of things, but being a director of operations at a baseball academy and then going and teaching high school English. Those are not, aside from communicating with other people, not really that different. Not really even close in the same ballpark. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a positive for sure.
I think Austin mentioned this. We were talking one day, and you need 3 years of experience, but this is an entry level job, like stuff like that. Yeah, I think that still persists, but I think Austin hit it right on the head where you're building, qualities for yourself, not necessarily for what that company is. And I think that's a really big shift that, like you said, happened in the past 30 years. My mom's the same way. And my dad is too. Like they both endured a significant shift in what they were doing. Significant enough, like it totally different, fields. But I think that, like you said, it's just super common of today. But a lot of that, like you said, Patty, is being connected.